My name is Erin, talking to you from Goddard Space Flight Center in Maryland, and today I am so excited to be talking to you all about our beautiful planet Earth. Today we are going to learn about why we look at our planet Earth from space, how NASA is able to do that, and then you all will exercise your brains like scientists here at NASA looking at satellite pictures of our planet Earth. So let's get started. Let's first take a look at our beautiful planet, and maybe you all can share with me right now a few reasons why our planet is so special. I'm sure you all just came up with some fantastic reasons. Our planet is so unique. It is the perfect distance away from our star, the sun, to be the perfect temperature. That's how we're able to support life. Earth is the only planet that we know of that can support life. We have an organic atmosphere that is rich with oxygen, so we're able to breathe nicely and easily here on Earth. We also have a lot of that blue stuff we call water. Most of our planet is covered with water. We can learn a lot about our planet Earth just by looking around us every single day. In fact, let's imagine that we're outside your school right now and we come across this. What do you see? I see that we are next to a lot of trees. We might be in a forest. I see that it's lots of grass is all around us. We are so close to the trees that we can actually see the leaves and the branches. However, I'm not quite sure where exactly we are, and I want to know more information. So let's change our perspective. Let's imagine that now we're going from the ground and hopping into an airplane right above that same location, and now we see this. Tell me, what do you see? Very good. Now we can learn a lot more information just by looking down from that airplane. Those trees, well, there are many more of them. In fact, now we know that we're on a golf course. We can see that right here off to the left. I see we're also next to a river or a stream. We couldn't see that earlier from the ground. Finally, in the background, I see mountains. But I still want to learn more information. How about you? Great, so now let's imagine that we're dialing into a satellite looking down at the exact same spot that we are in the airplane, and now we see this. What do you see? Wow, we can see so much more about the area that we have been looking at. Now we can see that stream or river is actually flowing into a larger body of water. This could be a lake, it could be the bottom of the sea, we're not quite sure, but it is huge. We also see that the trees are surrounded by much more green space. So this could be more grassland, this could be more golf courses, we're not sure, but I see a lot of green. I also see the tops of those mountains, and it looks like there might be a little bit of snow. I also see these white wispy things. What do you think these white wispy things are? If you said clouds, you are right. Now we can see the tops of the clouds. This shows us from going from the ground to the airplane and then looking from that space satellite just how much information we can learn. And it explains why NASA likes to look at our planet Earth from space. We can learn a lot of really great information about our own planet Earth just by looking down from space. From space, we can see how storms like hurricanes can form. We can also see just how fragile our planet really is. If you take a close look, Can you all see this thin blue line going across the top of the picture? That is our atmosphere, and that is all that separates us from space. Also, looking down from space, we can see some fantastic changes happening on our planet that we typically see every single day, but it looks completely different from that vantage point of space. This is one of my favorite examples. What do you think is happening in this picture? I'm sure you all came up with some great ideas. If you all thought that this is the transition from day to nighttime, you're right. Here on Earth, on the surface, when it becomes nighttime, it just becomes darker outside. And that's when we flip on the lights in our homes. But from space, we can actually see the line of termination between the light side, which we call daytime, and the dark side, which we call nighttime. In this case, the line of termination is going down across part of the Europe and African continents, right here. On the dark side of this picture, nighttime, I see these bright spots on the ground. What do you think these bright spots are on the ground? Great job, students. I'm sure you came up with some great ideas. If you said stars, that would be a good guess, but remember, we're looking down towards the planet Earth. So instead of looking at stars, we're actually looking at city lights. Those bright spots on the ground are cities. That's another reason why we look at planet Earth from space. We can understand how cities are able to grow. Here at NASA, we have two ways that we're able to look at our planet Earth from space. One way involves a special group of people that we train to live and work in space. Everyone, what is that group of people called? Astronauts. Very good. As a part of their mission training, astronauts like Don Pettit here are trained to use cameras just like you and I use every single day here on Earth, except these astronauts use them on board the International Space Station. The International Space Station, or ISS, orbits around our planet every 90 minutes, seeing a sunrise and sunset every 45 minutes. Our astronauts have a fantastic view of our beautiful planet, and if you all have access to social media like Facebook or Twitter, you can actually see these images. Our astronauts oftentimes post their pictures up to the Facebook or Twitter feeds for NASA or on their own personal ones. So if you have access to either Facebook or Twitter, I highly recommend checking that out. Not only do our astronauts on board Space Station have a fantastic view of Earth, but they also have a wonderful view of looking out into space. In fact, this was taken from the space station not too long ago. Below you see planet Earth. Those bright flashes are thunderstorms, and if you look off in the distance, that purplish-white cloud is an arm of our galaxy, the Milky Way. So even our astronauts have a fantastic view of stargazing when they're living and working in space. There's one little catch, though, of using our astronauts to look at planet Earth. They're really busy, and they don't always have time to look out to our planet Earth and take some fantastic photographs for us. They have a lot of stuff to do when they're living and working in space. Instead, we use technology. Most often than not, we use satellites, which are machines we can send up into space, such as this. These machines can be programmed to look at a wide variety of things. We can send up special sensors. We can put them with special cameras, all of which help us to understand objects like our planet Earth from space. Another great thing about satellites, they can stay in space for much longer than astronauts can. In fact, this satellite, which is called the Tropical Rainfall Measuring Mission, or TRMM, has been working in space for over 15 years now and has been providing some fantastic data or information on rainfall around our planet. Rainfall is really interesting for our scientists, And we want to know exactly how much rainfall is happening around our planet Earth. So TRIM has been working very hard, scanning the clouds and sensing whenever there's rain inside those clouds. Whenever those sensors do detect rainfall, it's highlighted with big, bright, bold colors like that you see right there. And then that information is given to our scientists here at NASA. TRIM has been pulled into another mission. It is now a part of a network of satellites called the Global Precipitation Measurement Mission, or GPM. TRIM, along with many other satellites, will now give our scientists a great idea of what's happening precipitation-wise around our entire planet. So we can see rain, we can see snow, hail, sleet, all different types of precipitation happening in real time all around our world. For the immediate future, this information will be wonderful for weather forecasting, and on the long term, this information can be pulled in and help our scientists understand what's happening to the climate of our planet. So it's really exciting science happening here at NASA. Speaking of science, right now it is your turn to exercise your brains like scientists here at NASA. I am going to show you a few pictures taken from space, and I want you all to tell me what you're looking at. Are you ready? Great, here we go. What do you see? This was a rather easy one. This is our planet Earth. Very good. Now we're going to zoom in. What do you see? Here we're looking at North America, part of the United States. All of those answers are great. Now we're going to zoom in even further. My first question to you, is this a city or a rural area? This is definitely a city. You can see those buildings, the gray part in this picture, very close quarters, many buildings in an area. Now, my question to you, what city are we looking at? I will give you a couple hints. This is the home of Central Park. It is the home of the Empire State Building. Now, what city are we looking at? If you answered New York City, you're right. This is what New York City looks like from space. Now, let's take a look at another picture coming in from space. First question, boys and girls. Is this a city or a rural area? Once again, we are looking at a city, and we can really see those buildings in close quarters to one another, very close to one another, and all of the different streets going across the city itself. I wonder what city we're looking at. I will give you a couple more hints. This is the home of the Washington Monument. It is the home of our president and his family, as well as the home of Capitol Hill. What city are we looking at? If you answered Washington, D.C., you are right. I'm sure many of you have visited Washington, D.C. before and have seen all the wonderful sights, such as the White House, the Lincoln Memorial, even the Jefferson Memorial. Believe it or not, you can see them from space. In the central part of Washington, D.C. is that long rectangular park we call the National Mall. You see that right here, moving east to west. In the center, there's the Washington Monument. To the left, here's the Lincoln Memorial. Then, going a little bit south across the tidal basin, we see the Jefferson Memorial. Directly north, however, from Jefferson, across Washington Monument to the northern part, that tiny little white rectangle, that is the People's House, the White House. There are many ways for you all to become a part of Earth observation, just like our scientists here at NASA. Programs such as Google Earth utilize many satellites. You can type in Washington, D.C., or type in your home address to see it from a whole new perspective, such as from space. You can also become a part of a program that's on board the International Space Station called EarthCam. With the help of your teacher, you can sign up for the latest EarthCam mission visiting this website and suggest locations for EarthCam to take pictures of. The next time the International Space Station orbits above that location, the camera will take a picture, and post it to the EarthCam website. That will make you and your classmates a part of Earth observation, just like astronauts and just like scientists here at NASA. There you have it, my friends. You have just learned what it's like to be a scientist here at NASA using satellites, looking at our planet Earth from space. Thank you all for joining me today. Have a wonderful day, and goodbye from NASA, everyone. Take care.